stop it. Hey guys, so today I thought I would show you the new brooder box that I just built. I was gonna film the process of building it, but I am not a carpenter by any means, and it wasn't such a smooth building process. It was kind of like, yeah, it was not very easily filmable and trackable, so I decided not to. So it is not perfect. I built it very quickly and I used all scrap wood, old wood that had been outside for years, but I made do the best that I could and it'll function, and that's what matters. So I have it out here in the barn. Hi. So I have it out here in the barn. I could have put it in the chicken coop, but I decided not to because it is pretty big and it would take up a lot of the coop. And the coop's kind of messy and the older hens are in there and I don't want them messing with the chicks. And I just figured we have this building, it's not being used right now, so why not use it? And then if they outgrow this and I'm not ready to move them into the big pen yet, then we can close the barn and then they have reign of the entire barn. So we'll see how it goes, but for now, they're in here. This is probably the safest, warmest place that they can be. Okay, so for the top, I just used a 2x4 that I cut in half with the table saw, just to get more out of the wood and so it wasn't as large and heavy. And it can come all the way up, and then I can lean it on the wall back here, so I can clean and get in there easy, see the chicks easy, it's all good. Or if I want, I can always just prop it up using a hockey stick on the handle here. And then, yeah, once again you can get in, but there's less chance of them flying out and everything. So I like how the lid turned out. It comes down a little crooked and it doesn't always fit in perfectly, just because the hinges, I used hinges from the old sheep shed, so they were all different funky kinds of shapes and they were bent and I had to hammer them back as straight as I could, but they're still a little crooked, so it doesn't come down perfectly, but if you jimmy it just for a sec, it usually pops down with not too many issues. So for the heat lamps, I did two different ways just to see what I liked, and for a couple of reasons. This one I attached to the actual frame of the top. That was just a little bit more structurally stable, it's a little bit stronger, and then I can have it higher raised up and farther in away from the corner. So this one is attached here, just using some twine right now. And then when I lift it up, that gets out of the way, easier for cleaning and everything. For playing with chicks, I can just grab them easier, and then I can, yeah, keep it higher. I still might lower it a bit, but then I have the option to go up. So that's how I did that lamp. And then over here, and when this one comes up, it just sits. It doesn't really cause issues. It just goes up with it, and it's totally all right. So for this one, I just connected it straight in to the edges of the box. That keeps it a little bit closer to the corner. It's lower, so I don't have quite as much choice, but then it stays down here so the chicks stay warm. When the lid gets open, they still have at least one heat source. And I have that pointed kind of at an angle that way so it's not straight down getting this wood too warm. So for the heat lamp cords, I just drilled some holes going out. I tried to drill it as small as I could, but that would still fit the actual end through. So that fits through there just tight so that there's less of a draft. And what I tried to do is I put this hole high enough that most of it is covered by the frame lid that's here. That way there's just less draft, and then only about enough for the cord to stick through actually comes out the bottom. That way when the lid is open, I can pull the cord end back through, but less hole and less draft for the chicks. And I did the same over here on this side, just another hole going out, and then both cords run around the back of the brooder to an extension cord where the power from the barn comes from. So when I open the brooder, obviously that heat lamp cord pulls out, but I made sure that is the cord that is longer, so it has room to stretch all the way up. And the extension cord will come here, so that won't be a problem of like unplugging. But this one, it just stays right where it is regardless. I used this wire, or this plastic wire, for the top just because I didn't want to use chicken wire because sometimes the ends can be sharp and scratchy, and I figured this would just be the safest. There are a few holes over there, but I'm not too concerned about the chicks being able to get out. And I could use plastic because there's not going to be any predators in here that could be getting through. So I won't have to worry about them breaking through. And it is still relatively strong. Because the hinges are crooked and the lid doesn't close perfectly, like it closes pretty okay, but it's also a tight fit, I did not feel the need to put a latch on. Nothing will be in here. The chicks will not be able to push that up, so I'm not too worried. So there is no latch on it. So yeah, this is the chick brooder. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned. I plan on setting up the incubator soon, and I'm getting super excited for you guys to see the chicks and for them to be here. So yeah, keep watching, and we'll see how it goes.